Hello folks, it's Dean here again for another beer review. I'd like to introduce my special guest who won't leave me alone. He's determined to get on the camera. Before we start, this is Eddie. Okay, Eddie, my new dog. Get him out of the way. Right, we're going to do a Leffe, another Leffe today. I've already done two of my beer reviews. I've done the Printemps and the Noël. Well, this is a very special one. This is Leffe Radieuse. Radius is almost like saying, it's French, it's like radius, which is round, circle. It means halo, basically. And this is a very nice beer indeed. The Leffe range, because they're owned by InBev and blah 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 blah, tend to be a bit on the mass-produced side, but not as much as, they haven't gone down the pan as much as some of the breweries that InBev own. I'm not going to mention any, but Leffe, they still do make a damn good beer. This is particularly good. This is Leffe Radieuse. It's fairly strong, 8.2% on the ABV. I've got a small 25 centilitre bottle because it was out of a multi-pack. They normally come in the 33 centilitre bottle. He's trying to. Have you seen this? Is that in the shop?
Yeah.
You quite finished?
No.
You want a beer? No? Okay, fine. Right. Yeah, it's look, beer. You not lick the bottle, right? Thank you. The condensation. Condensation is it's been in the fridge for a good 4 hours or so, but I've had it out about 20 minutes or so because it's a small bottle. It doesn't take long to warm back up again. You don't want it perfectly chilled, but you want it fairly cold. Same with all the Leffe beers, really. 5 or 6 degrees. Well, 7. Excuse me. Yeah. So, without further ado, let's pour this one. Like I say, it's a good Abbey beer. It's a very, very good Abbey beer. I've had it before, but 90% of the beers I would say I'm going to review I haven't had before, but a good handful I have, so I know what to expect. But some of them, like this one, I haven't had for quite a long time, so it's always good to give the sentences a revamp, a refresher rather. Just a bright pink bottle cap that says Leffe on it. See that, Eddie? You're not having it in your mouth, get lost. Right. Immediately you get that typical Leffe smell, which is sort of spicy, sweet and hoppy. But there's a good dose of spiciness in there and a bit of red fruit. Let me just use the old Gauloise glass. Give it a pour. Now I'm going to try and get a decent head on this because there's only 25 centilitres, so I've got no excuse. But I'll tell you what, we'll leave it there for the time being so we can have a smell. What am I on about? The all-important Swiss. Right. Sweet and not so much hoppy. It's sweet on the smell. It's like a really vibrant sort of fruity smell. Bit of cherry in there maybe. Although there's not actually any fruit in it. It's just like I say, it's the character of the beer. It's give it another. I should have thought about that. I poured a bit too much in it, really. But yeah, it's pleasantly. It's almost like berries. It's nice carbonation coming from the bottom. A rich, spicy, fruity sort of smell, but more sweet than it is spicy. So he's determined to steal the show. This one. He's only a year old. He's a collie cross. He's full of energy. Yeah, sweet. Candy, sort of sweet fruitiness. It's hard to describe really. It's lovely. It's a very aromatic beer. This. It's got a good bouquet on it. Pour the rest of that in. There you go. See, it's only a small bottle. As you can see, a bit of condensation around there. It's a lovely amber, but more towards the red and the pink in colour. It's deep. It's definitely got tinges of sort of light red around the edges. It looks really nice. It looks fantastic. Nice sort of. I've got maybe sort of a big finger's worth of head, like a 4 fingers worth of head, index finger rather. And it doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. It's slightly off-white. Some good lacing. Right, let's give it a taste. There's definitely a hot bitterness going on there. It's quite a light-bodied beer. It's not heavy by any means. I don't know if you can see the bubbles. There's just one stream of like champagne bubbles right in the middle of the glass, and that's it for carbonation. And it's quite a dark beer. I don't know if you'll be able to make that out in the light. It smells like champagne. Cheers, folks. Give that another one. This is good, this beer. Seriously, if you've never tried it, you're missing out. I had some spiciness in that one. Spiciness with the hops, but also sort of spicy fruit notes. And like I said, he's doing his best to distract me. I've paid him no attention all evening because I've been busy, bless him. And now he's just all over the place. Fiona says, "Oh, let him in. See, let's not shut him out for this beer review, see what happens." That's what happens. Bless him. We love him. Anyway, back to the beer. What is he doing?
Running around.
I've opened the beer now, we can't do a double take. We're just going to have to carry on. Yeah, fruity. It's light-bodied, it's sweet. It's got certain fruit. It's that typical Leffe taste. I mean, if you've had Leffe before, you know what I mean. All that interruption is Fiona. How are we doing for time?
I've got 3 minutes.
I've got 3 minutes. The alcohol is 8.2. It's masked quite well. With the sweetness round the edge, you're getting a maltiness right through the middle. Now, it's like a sweet maltiness, although it's not your typical sort of beer maltiness. It's like it's not bready or yeasty. It's like it is what it is. It's like a very light maltiness, like a toasty maltiness. There's definitely a good dose of bitterness in there. The influence of the hops. It doesn't smell or taste particularly hoppy, but you get the bitterness in the aftertaste and the mouthfeel. The finish, as it's called. I shall give that one final taste, because there's not an awful lot of that beer left, because it's a small bottle. We've got another Leffe beer to come as well. We're going to do the triple, which is... you wait and see. It's good stuff. That went down the wrong hole, sorry. We're not doing very well tonight, are we? This is a beer that deserves respect, yet this whole thing's going like belly up. Oh well, never mind. Such is life. It's such a chilled beer, so that's why it's a chilled beer review. We don't care. It's such a chilled beer. By chilled I don't mean cold, I mean it's good to chill out to. Yeah, Leffe Radieuse. You'll, like I said, unless you get a multi-pack, you'll get a 330ml bottle. Look for the pink label. It's rich and rounded. Not sickly rich. It's fairly rich. The flavour is well rounded. It's fruity. It's almost, you get sort of cherry and plummy notes and things like that in there. But it's definitely got a sweetness to it. But that disappears. That's not a lingering sweetness. You taste that straight away, and then the finish is just the dry, bitter hops with a nice sort of sweet fruitiness in the middle. I keep saying the word fruitiness. That's the best way I can describe it. I mean, it looks ready, and it tastes like the colour would suggest it tastes. Almost berryish. I don't know if you've ever had the Leffe Ruby, which is actually brewed with real berries. It's the closest they come to a fruit beer. Well, this is it's like a stronger version of that, only nicer and more well-rounded. Yeah, Leffe Radieuse. Give it a shot. Seriously, if you've got this thing about Leffe beers being all rubbishy and crappy and mass-produced, like I said before, taste some of their other ones. Just, I mean, the Blonde and the Brew, I'm not even going to bother reviewing because everybody knows them. They're widely available. You can get them anywhere. So explore the range. Although Leffe 9 is horrible. Cheers!